In 4 years between 1347 and 1351, the Black Death killed 1 in every 3 people in Europe. In 2022, scientists finally found exactly where it started, and it was not where anyone expected. As you consider the sheer scale of this disaster, which claimed the lives of approximately 75 to 200 million people, you might wonder, what triggered this catastrophic event that would forever alter the course of European history? The Black Death was not an isolated incident, but rather the culmination of a series of events that began decades earlier, such as the Great Famine of 1315 to 1317, which affected Europe, particularly England, France, and Germany, and led to widespread poverty and discontent. In the early 14th century, the Mongol Empire, under the rule of Ozbeg Khan, had established trade routes, including the Silk Road, which connected Europe to Asia, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and, ultimately, diseases. As you follow the trail of events leading up to the Black Death, you might ask, how did the convergence of these factors create a perfect storm that would soon engulf Europe? In 1338, a deadly plague broke out in the region of Kyrgyzstan, as evidenced by the discovery of DNA from the bacterium Yersinia pestis in the teeth of grave remains, which would later be confirmed by scientists in 2022. This outbreak, 9 years before the plague reached Europe, marked the beginning of the pandemic. The plague spread rapidly along the trade routes, reaching the Crimean port city of Caffa in 1346, where it was used as a biological weapon by the Mongol forces, led by Yani Beg, who catapulted infected corpses over the city walls, infecting the inhabitants. As the plague spread throughout Europe, carried by rats and other rodents on merchant ships, such as the Genoese fleet, which arrived in the port city of Messina, Sicily, in 1347, you might ponder, how did the role of rats, often cited as the primary vector, compare to the impact of human activities, such as trade and warfare? The plague then spread to other parts of Europe, including France, where it arrived in the port city of Marseille in 1348, and England, where it reached the city of Melcombe Regis in 1348. The plague's impact was further exacerbated by the lack of medical understanding, as evidenced by the writings of the physician Galen, who believed that the plague was caused by bad air, or miasma. The aftermath of the Black Death was marked by significant social, economic, and cultural changes, as the massive reduction in the labor force led to increased social mobility and the emergence of a new class of landowners, such as the English yeoman farmers, who benefited from the rise in wages and the decline in the power of the nobility. The plague also led to increased persecution of minority groups, such as the Jews, who were blamed for the outbreak of the plague, as seen in the massacres that took place in cities like Strasbourg and Basel in 1349. As you consider the profound impact of the Black Death on European society, you might wonder, how did the trauma of this event shape the artistic and literary expressions of the time, such as the works of Geoffrey Chaucer, who wrote about the plague in his poem, The Canterbury Tales? The Black Death's legacy can be seen in the profound and lasting impact it had on European civilization, as it led to significant changes in the social, economic, and cultural landscape of the continent, and as you reflect on the lessons of this tragic event, you might ask, what can we learn from the Black Death about the interconnectedness of human societies and the importance of preparedness in the face of global health crises?